we focus a lot of our energies on staff wellness, and what that really equates to is teacher wellness. But your product looked at everyone's wellness across the system. And so I was really intrigued that we could focus in on our bus drivers, on our food service, on our administrators, because administrators are the ones called on to take care of everyone else, and who is taking care of them and making sure they're okay. So I just really liked that it spanned across an entire ecosystem, and it wasn't just about teachers. It's such an easy check-in, and even the process of doing the resilience tracking and doing the survey in itself can be a little bit of self-care, can be a little bit of a wellness wake-up, right? Just because sometimes you don't think about some of the questions that are asked, and so I find it encouraging just to take it honestly, like you know what, I forgot all about that part of my life. I need to dial in. So I think that there's a place even in it that inherently forces people to reflect a little bit on the choices and decisions and priorities in their lives. I think that's critical to any organizational change, any organizational movement, is that you have multiple points where you're checking in to see if what we're doing is working. And I think that's one of the other things that I really enjoy about People Bench is that, like you said, a lot of surveys are once you do it in the fall, then you do it in the fall, and you do it in the fall, right? And from that, you can develop a plan, and that's great. But if you're not checking in to see if that plan is working, you can't course correct. We don't do that with our children. We don't do that when we're teaching children how to read. We check in regularly to make sure the plans we have are working. And if they're not, we need to do something different. And I just love that People Bench allows us to do that for our staff wellness as well. Yeah, so based on the survey data that we took in the spring of last year, towards the end of last year, we used that and the strategy builder as part of our leadership retreat this summer. And so all of my building leaders, and then as district office, we did the same for our leaders, use that strategy builder to build out our work plans for the school year. And those are the things that we're going to be revisiting once we have this new data to say, okay, we said we were going to try to do this based on what we saw. Is it working? Do we need to course adjust? And then you have the workforce strategy where you can go in and find something that fits that gap. And you can try it, and then you dipstick and see if it's working, right? So that whole cycle of continuous improvement, we've used it in schools for other things. We use it for our students. We don't necessarily use it for our staff. First of all, it's a simple tool to use. It's quick, it's easy, it's efficient. It gives you a picture across your entire district of your staff's well-being. It allows you to pinpoint and target and take care of people that perhaps you hadn't thought or been taken care of in the past. Specifically for me, I like to think of taking care of my administration. And it has a workforce strategy builder, so you don't have to actually think or find or do much in order to put those plans into place. And it's continuous, right? So you can go back and find out if what you're doing is working. And so it's a continuous improvement model for staff. And I think staff well-being, and I think that's just so powerful.